Hello everyone, and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV Full Story Playthrough. When last we left off, we finally managed to convince Race Velger to join our cause, to face Nidhogg in battle, before he can destroy Ishgard. And now there's only one thing left to do, make our way back before Nidhogg can cause any more damage. I pray we are not too late. Me too, Alphino. Ishgard will not last long against Nidhogg and his horde. We must away.
I must return to my city without delay.
The attack's already begun. But Torel, see ya.
Remember your training! We hold fast until the Lord Commander returns. Ugh. We must hold!
Damn, Torel. A murdling you are, but you're still a knight.
Reinforcements! By the Fury, that one is the size of Nidhogg.
Ah, but take heart.
Commander!
We did this superhero landing.
You are late, Warrior of Light.
Watan and by E. Still walking. Nal Inga. Away and Ikinfa and Kohesto In. Undo Kai Omon Ikin In. Castaga. Stajas. Skol. Hes. Son. Orsk mig in, Eskia in one ihe, Dolun higin hern esh. Srosgon inna. Is inna. Liskol Nusgar aquí. Sus ulmor.
Ow.
Estinien mig in. Faun Vor må I te tothar an. Vis an in. Snalis rei in. Nidhogg. Elstra. In Hefnesh. Ja, wa il an stra and in.
Children of the land,
Alle in
echoes of truth that once
les in. Dis alf I
souls
an
in time to
in.
one.
Sal jas
They did find bringing light and heaven's need. But flames that burn full bright soon fell dark. Memories dimmed by shadowed hearts. In the waxing gloom did wane the lover's moon, watching as their words drift.
The final steps of faith. We will face down Nidhogg
One soul's
and put an end to the Dragon Song War.
In the waxing gloom did wane the lover's moon, watching as their words. One soul's cry, passion well.
It ends today, one way or another. It ends today, Nidhogg.
Sacrifice a final plea to her kin. Yet this bond of hope by treachery was broke.
Just so you know, that Shadow Dragon doesn't have an enemy table. It just does what it wants. Like, it's technically targeting me, but it's not going to, actually.
Why must you turn to empty belief? Tell me why
I am so glad I Sheltroned that. That would have hurt a lot. By the way, this track is called Revenge of the Horde. Oh no, this one is Free Fall. Revenge of the Horde comes next. Free Fall, this one is. It's so good. Ouch. This is Revenge of the Horde. Oh god, am I lagging? I'm lagging like crazy. Damn it. Alright, let's hope everybody stacks for Akmorn. Very good. Hey, they can be taught. Now just watch out for the Bomberman balls. And hey, my internet can actually behave. It's a miracle. That took way too long. Goodbye, Nidhogg. Hopefully, it does not mean goodbye, Estinien. He's not looking too good. And now the conclusion.
Estinien!
Is this to be mine end? Nay, I will not allow it. I am of the first brood. I am vengeance incarnate. I am Nidhogg. Thou shalt die by my hand.
This is not your hand, worm!
Thou wilt obey.
I would ask one last favor of you, Warrior of Light. Finish me, now, while I have the beast subdued! You waste your time. Kill me! It is the only way! Ending Nidhogg will be my final duty!
No! You can't die like this! I won't let you!
For those we've lost, for those we can yet save.
Children of the land, truths that once rang clear, two souls intertwined, one true love they did find, bringing light and heaven's near. Memories dimmed by shadowed hearts. In the waxing gloom did wane the lover's moon, watching as their worlds drift apart.
You saved us again. You sell too.
One soul's cry, a passion welling within. Sacrifice, a final plea to her king.
The eyes! Cast them into the abyss!
Yet this bond of hope by treachery was broke, scattering her words to the wind.
He lives. Ah, Estinien, my ill-fated friend. Lucia, summon the healers. I want them ready to receive him.
At once, Lord Commander.
Allow me to do this much, at least. You have my gratitude, Hraesvelgr. Your deeds this day have saved a great many lives.
Ustra udin instrare anhesnesh.
You, don't want your wing back there, Hraesvelgr? Or your eye?
The battle is won. We can do no more for Estinien now than bear him home and wish him well, even as Hraesvelgr did. The rest we must trust to the hands of the healers and the grace of the gods.
One of the knights is limping back. Yeah. It was a tough fight. Through the haze of pain, I swear I sensed... But no. The past is done, and we must look to the future. At long last, Nidhogg is gone. His foul spirit cast out once and for all. I only pray that Estinien survives the ordeal. I think he'll be alright. Your battle with Nidhogg's Shade will beget many an epic ballad, Foxy, and rightly so. It was without a doubt one of your more epochal victories, though I must admit I took greater joy in seeing you emerge from the experience unscathed. And not only for your own sake. Had you not been there to aid me, those infernal eyes would still be fused to Estinien's mail. Yet even with Nidhogg gone, I cannot help but wonder how much of our friend remains. Let us pay a visit to Lucia and beg news of his condition. Yeah, I'm worried too. Estinien might be brash and, hell, sometimes even mean. Like he was mean to Y'shtola. But he is still our friend. And he was so happy to fight alongside of us. Foxy, Master Alphino, my honored friends. As if winning Hraesvelgr to our cause are not enough, you took it upon yourselves to rid us of his brood brother. I know not how to thank you. My own contribution was hardly noteworthy. The true saviors of the day were Foxy and Estinien. One triumphed over Nidhogg's Shade through strength of arms, and the other through strength of will. And speaking of Estinien, what news of his recovery? The Azure Dragoon was conveyed to the infirmary, where he now resides under the care of our hospitalier captain. I'm told he is yet to regain consciousness. But as you know, Estinien's mind and body were held hostage for many days. We must be patient and allow the process of healing to begin. In the meantime, you would do well to rest and recover from your own ordeals. But surely... Sir Emmerich is never long from Estinien's bedside, and will send word the moment there are any new developments. Now, if I have satisfied your concerns, I believe Lord Edmund and his sons are most eager to celebrate your return. Very well, First Commander. Come, Foxy. 'Twould seem we are awaited at Fort Tom Manor. I think we've earned some rest. There's nothing else that we can do. Oh god, this person's name. Frig Nuts. And Shy Pet. My god. At least Shy Pet's kinda cute. But... oh...
The heroes of the hour return.
We but did our duty, my lord. It was the memories of fallen friends and not our heroism which saw us through at the last.
I gave every ounce of my strength, but mine efforts would have counted for naught had the Warrior of Light not arrived to challenge the Great Worm. As a sworn knight of Ishgard, I had hoped to do more for my city.
Well, we cannot all be heroes, dear brother. Let us put away our pride for a moment and revel in the valiant deeds of our comrade. For your sterling service to Ishgard, we salute you. And while we're on the subject of valiant deeds, I believe I myself have earned some small measure of recognition. Under my watchful command, the ballistas of the Outer Ward struck down a veritable swarm of Dravanian invaders.
My lord's command was certainly watchful. He bravely watched as the siege crews took aim, and continued to watch as countless wyverns met their end. Indeed, the ward's defenders proved so well drilled that my lord had little occasion to stop watching.
So in other words, he did very little fighting.
There will be time enough to determine who is most deserving of recognition later. Our friends are doubtless weary from their exertions. I had chambers prepared in expectation of your return. You are welcome to retire at your leisure.
I am most grateful for your hospitality, my lord, but I believe I shall pay a visit to the Temple Knight's Infirmary. Pray excuse me.
Our master Alphino has grown. The plight of his stricken brother-in-arms pains him more than his own hurts. In which respect he has come to resemble you, Warrior of Light. Go then, visit the Azure Dragoon, and grant him what comfort you may.
Well, let's have a quick chat before we go do that. If my lord's irrepressible optimism were ever to fix upon something about which he had cause to be optimistic, I dare not what he might achieve. Without the guiding hand of yours truly, House Halenart's famous dragon killers wouldn't have killed half as many dragons just now, as I shall be sure to tell my lady when next we meet. Oh god, give her a rest, dude. At long last, Nidhogg is gone. No true son of Ishgard could wish for more. Yet scores of my brother knights fell in the battle, and I find my joy tempered by their loss. Go, Warrior of Light. We will not begrudge you the time spent at your comrade's sickbed. Yeah. We need to make sure Estinien's okay. Hello again, Lucia. What do you have to say? Estinien is resting in our infirmary. The sick beds are our front line now, and the battle to save the wounded continues unabated. Foxy, my friend, what can I do for the savior of Ishgard? You seek Master Alphino? Ah, he came to relieve me of my vigil a short while ago. When he begged to sit at Estinien's side, I could not well refuse him. Though he would sooner faint than admit it, the boy must be exhausted by Hraesvelgur's trial and all that followed. Estinien is blessed to have such devoted comrades. My own friendship with Estinien began some 10 years past, shortly after we joined the Temple Knights. I learned his name soon enough, but Estinien barely registered my existence. I was less a fellow recruit and more a shadow which occasionally darkened his path. And so I might have remained, had fate not seen fit to intervene. While out on patrol, our company was set upon by a dragon. We were the only two to survive. The experience forged a bond between us, as such life-threatening situations are wont to do. Despite our friendship, he remained an intense and solitary youth, wholly obsessed with claiming vengeance against Nidhogg. Revenge was ever at the forefront of his mind, revenge for the death of his parents and revenge for his younger brother. I would venture that in Alphino he sees something of his lost sibling, and in the ungentle chidings of Estinien, Alphino has found the elder brother he never had. Truth be told, Estinien's tactless observations have saved me from disaster more than once, and I can well understand Alphino's affection for him. He is a friend for whom I would gladly... Lord Commander, your presence is required at the infirmary. Is he... Tell him I'm on my way. Oh dear. Quickly, Foxy, we must go to him. Upon proceeding to the infirmary, several cutscenes will play in sequence. Of course. For this is the end.
Estinien!
Cease your mewling, boy. It grates my ears.
Forgive me. When I saw you awaken, I could not... It was such a relief. We feared you might never wake up.
Now, Estinien. If Master Alphino thought any less of you, you would still be Nidhogg's plaything. Or dead. Aye, 'twas but a jest. I thank you, Alphino. And you too, Warrior of Light. Quite how you managed to persuade Hraesvelgr to aid in his brood brother's downfall I cannot imagine. But full glad am I that you did. Yet again, you have achieved the impossible. I, for my part, owe you an apology. When last we met, I did willingly loose an arrow at your heart. Can you forgive me? There is naught to forgive, Emmerich. You but acted in defense of Ishgard as is your duty. Were you any less single-minded about it, I would not follow you into battle, nor trust you at my back. Besides, I had come to the selfsame conclusion, that I would have to perish for Nidhogg to be stopped. So let us dispense with the hand-wringing. I have heard enough mewling for one day.
He's so mean.
Oh!
But he's such a great guy.
The tendrils of Nidhogg's foul presence bound up every fiber of my being, usurping my senses, but I yet retained some trace of awareness. The worm's mind was as a vast and tumultuous sea. Endlessly its black waters churned, his grief and despair at Ratatoska's murder never calming, never receding. driven by this surging current came wave upon wave of unrelenting rancor. It was the very image of my own heart. There I saw the dark reflection of the hatred I felt after Nidhogg slew my family, when no path remained save vengeance against dragonkind. Neither one of us had a choice. But I was blessed with something Nidhogg was not. Comrades and teachers to console and admonish me. Had I not had them to gainsay my obsession, it would surely have consumed me as Nidhogg's did him, and we would have been in all respects alike. Though his shade is banished, his spirit scattered upon the sea of clouds, I feel no joy at his passing. Where once I craved vengeance, I now crave rest. Lord Commander, my hunt is at an end. I would lay down the mantle of Azure Dragoon.
My friend. He has tired himself with too many words. I doubt not that he will make a full recovery, but he must be allowed some few days of quiet. I too must see my path to its end. Sleep well, my friend.
Following the battle with Nidhogg on the Steps of Faith, Sir Emeric called an assembly that he might make his final proclamation as acting head of state. "'Twas there, with one decree, that the 1,000-year rule of the archbishops was ended, paving the way for a new republic. The governance of Ishgard would now be placed in the hands of high and lowborn alike, their ranks represented by the newly founded House of Lords and House of Commons. Church was separated from state. The foundation for change had been carefully laid, and the reforms proposed by Ishgard's new government passed into law without incident. His duty done, Emeric de Burrell gladly stepped down from the Archbishop's dais, only to be raised unto the highest seat in the House of Lords.
He's earned it. That much is for sure.
Though he strove at first to refuse this honor, the unexpectedly strident voice of the Count de Durandare left him little choice but to accept. And so it was that the winds of gentle revolution came to stir. Prominent among the many honored guests at Sir Emeric's investiture were the ambassadors of Dragonkind, a fitting symbol of Ishgard's newfound peace. The people looked on in awe as he soared through the heavens on Dragonback. And by their cheers did they hail him an Azure Dragoon for a new age. Thus were the notes of the dragon song rewritten, the din of war giving way to a rising litany of peace and hope.
A chronicle of our own. All right. Let's have a quick chat with Sir Emeric. I was gazing out at the sea of clouds in an all too rare moment of idleness when I chanced to behold a certain hero winding her way towards the city on Dragonback. Welcome home, Foxy. Nay, 'twas no grave matter that moved me to meet you in person. Between you and me, I merely sought respite from the pressures of office. No sooner do I surrender my role as temporary head of state than I am burdened with a position of more permanent responsibility. I fancy that it echoes in some small measure the way you must feel when your improbable feats of heroism are rewarded with still more impossible challenges. Yeah. The myth which guided our society for generations lies in tatters. Am I then to be scorned for building upon the system of nobility that I once sought to tear down? And what strange jest is it that places me at its pinnacle, an archbishop's bastard at the head of the House of Lords? You didn't get there through nepotism or tradition. But these are questions for me to answer. It is not in man's nature to change overnight. This I learned through painful experience, and it was this hard lesson which convinced me to take the path which we now follow. Even as we rebuild the bridge between man and dragon, so must we reimagine Ishgard, one carefully placed stone at a time. We must remember that it is not for us that we lay this groundwork, but for the men and women that our children will become. May their towers rise proudly from the fundament of our legacy. I hear word from Captain Whitecape that Estinien has vanished from his sick room. His wilfulness survives undiminished. Should you ever happen upon our unmannerly friend on your travels, pray assure him that I shall keep Ishgard safe until he deigns to come home. Thank you, Foxy. And please, convey my warmest regards to Master Alphino. Who are we finding now? Alphino, of course. You saved the day again, Foxy. Not that I ever doubted you would. You spoke with Sir Emmerich. I do not envy him his new position. Ishgard has chosen a new road, but one littered with the detritus of 1,000 years of broken faith. Yet though her people may stumble from time to time, I know of none better than Sir Emmerich to lead the march of progress. As for us, there remains the small matter of ushering in a new dawn in the shadows of inscrutable Ascian machinations, and a seemingly endless procession of primals. But we too must walk our chosen path, no matter how treacherous the footing. Too true. It's a coat. It's like Count Edmund's coat. Also a wind-up Emmerich. In the wake of Ishgard's governmental reform, new airship routes have been sanctioned. We now travel to a selection of distant locales from the landing in Ishgard. But we'll be sure to never do that, because teleporting is faster. What was that all about? Thank you, Blenhairs. Nay, you need not remain there. We shall rendezvous at the usual place. All is proceeding as expected, then? Aye. There is naught to concern us, aside from one overly curious mouse. Uh-oh. This way! It's Alice. Him again. It is of no moment. They will play their part and we will play ours. And thus did grey mists give way to azure skies, man and dragon rise above, voices joined in song. But beneath shrouded boughs, beyond the scope of light, shadow stirs. Well, that's gonna be it for this episode. Heavensward's main story is over. at least in the terms of the main plot line for this expansion itself. Now, we begin the lead-up quests to the next one. I'm referring to Stormblood. It's closer than you think, friends, and we'll begin in the very next episode. Until I see you again, I'm Foxy Games. Have a good one. Bye.